Good morning, everybody. Can y'all hear me okay? We've got Rebecca's in the house, Jesus in the house, Susan Baker's in here. How are you guys doing? Of course, Papa Z's over there in the living room. It is so good to see you guys this morning. Cameron Bowles, hey, honey, how are you doing? Um, s- we are at the farm. As you can see, that way. As you can see, we're still unpacking. Those are actually empty boxes. They've just got to be. Hey, Black Tropical Homestead, how are y'all? Pine Tree Hill, good morning. Good to see you guys today. It has been a minute, hasn't it? Yes, it is cold. I think when I looked at the thermostat a while ago, it was 18. It may have warmed up a little bit since then. It's supposed to warm up this week some. So we're kind of looking forward to that. We trust me, I have missed y'all. I've missed putting videos out. It was just so chaotic trying to get Kendra moved to college, and then we moved the next week. It was just insane. Oh, there's speaking of the devil, and there's Gemini Homestead. There's my daughter Kendra. Built on a Rock is here. Thank you for joining me this morning, guys. We when did we get here? Sunday was the day we got here, Keith. Yeah, we got here Sunday, and well, it started like I said the week before we moved Kendra into her dorm. Man, dorms have improved or something. She got an apartment. Has a full kitchen. Her roommate is extremely sweet. Yeah, Sunday. Um, and Kendra, for whatever reason, Huntsville sets on, especially Sam Houston, sets on hills. So Kendra is getting used to walking up and down the hills to go to Chow Hall and go to her classes and that kind of stuff. Hey, buddy, welcome, hun. And so she's finally started using Marco. So we've been able to Marco a little bit. Of course, when we first got here, there wasn't internet. We got the internet turned on, thankfully. And so we got here Sunday. We drove in. I drove the U-Haul. Keith drove the car. Well, hello, Southern Blessed Homestead. Is that Patty or Matt or both? And then we got here Sunday and pretty much just kind of died. We got just what we needed out of the car, like the coffee maker, things like that, and um, we were just kind of done. We were both exhausted. Monday morning, we got up. We ran to Graham, um, bought groceries because I brought some stuff, like canned goods and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we just I gave everything that was in my freezer away because it was a 5.5 hour trip, and I'm like, it's gonna be all thawed out, and then I'm gonna have to cook it all, and there was just too much. So I blessed some friends that helped us pack with it. Kendra had taken some with her. We had to go buy groceries Saturday, and hey, Howie, how you doing? And then we um, got back here, put groceries up, and my son, it's my youngest son, not my youngest child, but my youngest son, um, followed us over here. And let me tell you what, I don't know if he's in here, going to be in here this morning. Y'all see him sometimes, John Shepherd. I don't know why he uses that name. That's not his name, but anyway, he he came over, and that there, huh? Yeah, there's something to be said about 25-year-olds. I think he's 25. almost 20. No, I think he just turned 25, didn't he? Anyway, he was such a godsend. Let me tell you what, because Keith and I were sore, both of us were hurting, and he just, between him and Keith, I couldn't, I threw my back out, oh, what, a week before we moved? And I could lift a little bit, and then hey, never enough time, good to see you. And then I would just have to sit down, and I'd sit here at this in this chair, and I'd unpack everything. Um, but I was useless for lifting anything. So between Keith and my son, they got the U-Haul unloaded, which it wasn't a huge U-Haul. We had just got the 15-foot trailer because there was a lot in the house that was still going to be here. Mom left us a lot of furniture, so we really didn't bring any of our furniture. A couple of little things, but for the most part, we didn't. Um, and it wasn't like it was the furniture we had were hand me downs from mom and dad. We brought our curio cabinet and stuff like that. But anyway, so we have just steadily been unpacking and unloading, and I I don't want to move anytime soon, which I don't see that happening. But anyway, it it was just a lot. Lippy, you've moved twice in the last year and a half or so. I just now feeling like I'm kind of getting caught up with myself. There's still a lot that we've got to get done, as far as unloading. Going to start planting a garden. We had the neighbor's chickens. I don't have chickens yet, but you'll see pictures of them at some point. They come out every morning, and there's some Isa Browns. There's a Buff Orpington that my mother has called Goldie, and there is I think it's a Delaware that they call it checkerboard. Yes, I saw a Wyandotte yesterday. That one don't come up, but just every once in a while. There's two little roosters. I'm not sure what they are, but they're the big. They got the big tail, and they're got all the colors in them. But this rooster is a little obnoxious. They're all friendly. They're all extremely friendly, but he'll sit out there and crow until you go out there and give him some scratch. Mom's got a bucket of scratch that she left over here. So you got to go out and feed them. They have absolutely run these chickens. Oh, I imagine. There's so much that COVID going around, man. When we left. Hey, little fish in the kitchen. How are you doing? Good to see you, hun. Um, my grandmother. We got well. The day was it the day we got here or the next day? I guess it was the day we got here. Mom had found out my grandmother had COVID. She's in the nursing home over in Graham. Huh? Hey, Mr. Willie, good to see you. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I just beat him all the time. Um, so then then it was the next day. Um, Mom called, and of course, our cell phones don't work well. So all I heard was when I picked up the phone was Mama's fallen. And then the phone went dead. And I'm like, and they just literally live next door. So I just grabbed my shoes and ran over there real quick. Well, she fell and she had broke her hip. And, she has Alzheimer's. Um, they, the nursing home gave her some Tylenol, if you can believe that. And of course, that wasn't helping with the pain at all. So they shipped her to the hospital, and they first said they were going to try to do surgery. She had broke the other hip in April, and the doctor told finally mom had to go over and sign some paperwork and stuff at the hospital. And the doctor said, I'm not going to do surgery on her. He said, because with her having COVID, and if I had to, put her on hello, Teresa, good to see you. If we had to put her, under, she might not with her breathing and stuff. So they opted not to do the surgery and they've put her on hospice. Now, with hospice, that can be next week, it can be a year from now. Keith's mother has been on hospice for 2 years. So we'll just see. It's kind of a day by day thing, but it's hard when they get that age, and her quality of life is not good because she can't remember anything. Of course, now that she's got COVID, well, hello, Big Bear Homestead, good to see you. Um, so anyway, that's just kind of been all at the same time. I really truly feel like this was God's timing because the original move date was in March. We'd said we're going to move in March, and then when Kendra decided that she was going to go to Sam, I said, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and go? I just had a feeling like we need to go. We need to just. There's nothing really keeping us here. Um, I mean, not that we didn't are going to miss our friends and stuff in Conroe. We absolutely will. But I just felt like let's just do this. Mom and Dad had got COVID too, and I thought if we'd been there, I could have helped them and that kind of stuff. So I'm telling you, it was God's timing because it. When you lose a parent, I don't care how old they are or how old you are, that it's just hard. And I definitely want to be here to help mom navigate this and not that her siblings and all that, but it's just different. It's good to have people around you to help and stuff. So I think mom's going to come over in a little bit. We're gonna. There's a lot of her stuff still here. A lot of my grandmother's stuff, and figure what we're gonna keep, what we're gonna maybe give away. That kind of stuff. We just got to go through stuff. So originally we were going to move into the house next door, but that was mom and dad's house that they bought. They decided they wanted to move back over there. Dad likes that house better. Um, and so we moved into the farmhouse. I don't know if y'all remember the video I did, back on the farm, and we made pear honey. Well, we did it in this house. So I am literally living in my grandparents' home, my late grandfather and, my grandmother's. And it's odd, you know, because this is their house, I grew up here. I mean, I didn't live in the house with them, but we were out here all the time. We just lived 3 miles into town. And so it's different. So trying to put my own stuff up, and I told my husband, I said, the more we can, like, I can put my cross wall back up and stuff like that, that I don't want to completely eliminate them being here, but I do want to make it our home too. So that's just kind of what we're working through. And like I said, mom and I still have to go through a bunch of stuff to figure what we're going to move around. Yeah, I know you do, Kendra. Kendra spent a lot of time here too when she was little. So, it's just different. Um, just oh, and I mean, practical things that I don't even have really time at this moment to think about. But where am I going to put the garden? There's a big field that way. There's one behind that way. Where are we going to put the garden? Where are we going to? Absolutely. Um, Jason and I 100% agree with that because I want to honor my mom and granddad for sure. Um, and I just, it's different living in your parents' home or your grandparents' home. But I'm excited. You know, it won't be that too much longer. I'll have to do some seed starts and get that going. Um, so because I don't know that I'm going to do a giant garden, my first year out because I don't necessarily want to do anything permanent. I want to get a bed going, see how it grows in that area, just like you do any new place that you go to. I'm going to really be focusing a lot on onions and or not onions, peppers and tomatoes, maybe some squash and melons. We're going to be growing some watermelons because the soil here is really sandy. Watermelons grow really good in the sand. Absolutely, Libby. 100%. Yes, I am so glad to be out of the apartment. It's quiet. I have no screaming kids. I don't know if y'all heard him. He said it was too quiet, except when the rooster's crowing. It's not our rooster. We can't put the neighbor's rooster in freezer camp. He's um, Hey, how to garden? How are you? So he's funny because once you go out there and you give him a little scratch, he's happy and he kind of goes on about his way. um, okay, address in the comment section. I put our new address. It's a PO box. If anybody would like to, send us some mail, that is our address. That was the first thing we did. Hey, Christy. If I didn't say hi to you, hello. And there's Robin. I know. That's what I told him. We used to live fairly close to the train track in Conroe before we moved to the apartment, and you got used to that. I mean, you just kind of drowned it out. So I agree. I would much rather have that rooster out there than all those kids screaming and hollering and beating on the. Oh, I was just. Uh huh. But honey, I can't have baby chicks if you kill my rooster. Um, I do too. I mean, I grew. This is my hometown. I grew up out here, and so the city it was just loud. All the traffic, you'd hear the sirens go off all the time, and it just oh, got on my nerves. I couldn't. And Conroe is one of the fastest growing cities in the country. When we moved there, it had 60,000 people, and it still had kind of the small town feel to it. When we left, it had well over 100,000, and that city was not built for that much traffic. The infrastructure was not designed for that many people. But new apartment complexes were going up all the time, and it was crazy. We had a lot of people from California were moving into Houston, and a lot of people from Houston moving up here. We had Californians moving in too, but and then you get the traffic issues. Like Conroe used to be what I would consider normal. People kind of did what they were supposed to, and nobody was like being crazy. Well, Houston was just the opposite. Houston was kind of like Dallas in the fact that they would drive a million miles an hour and nearly run over you if you didn't get out of their way. Well, Conroe was starting to get that way. Exactly. JRC, how are you doing, by the way? Thank you for coming in. Right, and you really need a rooster because they protect your flock too. So they do their job. They've got, I think, four roosters next door. They've got quite a few chickens. And then the guy that lives across the pasture back there, he has chickens. So we have chickens all around us. I just need my own so I can have the fresh eggs. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it this year. Um, Goats for Misty. Oh, trust me. Yeah, let's start that GoFundMe account for my all my animal ventures. But I don't. We are going to go slow. The most important thing this year. Oh, come on. What have I talked about for the last 5 years? Goats and chickens. Oh, yeah. When Jason showed us a picture yesterday that he hung a pig that they just butchered, and I'm like, I need a pig. But that's, you got to take your time. The the folks next door, oh, I'd love to see if we can. Oh, I don't know that I want an alpaca. Um, I need meat production animals. Do a hog, do a or a pig, or do some chickens, and I may eventually. I'm looking at rabbits too because they're easy to kind of contain and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Jason's Jason's good at stirring that pot, isn't he? Y'all. No, it's I don't want to overwhelm myself. I think that's probably something that new homesteaders do is they come in, they get all the things, and then they're overwhelmed. So we'll start out small. We have a small coop that was mom and dad's, that we may use. I eventually want a bigger coop because that one's, the three or four chicken coop. I need a 20 chicken coop or something like that. Maybe try to build one. There's just all kinds of. um, I'm just excited. I am excited to be here. I'm excited to continue the legacy of my grandfather and what he started here. Let me tell y'all though, we're estimating this house was probably built in the 40s. We don't know that for sure. We know it's at least no. We know it's at least 50 years old, but it's older than that because Granddad moved it here, on this property 50 years, and it was used then. And then they, kind of flipped it or whatever, fixed it up. So we don't know exactly how old this house is, but it has not enough plugs. It's got light switches in the weirdest places, like out y'all see that room back there behind me, right? That's kind of the middle shower. It's got a shower in it they put in for my grandparents. Do I have any outbuildings? Yes, I do. We have a barn back there. So I'm going to be doing, trying to put together the move video. It may not be the one that comes out Monday. I think Monday we're going to do a slow cooker roast. The recipe I got from a friend that we're going to be doing that for Monday's video. But I've got a lot of footage I have to get together, but I want to film some here. We have a barn, out there that, and then we've got mom and dad's got 4 or 5 storage buildings. We'll probably eventually get another storage building for us, but I do have the barn, and we've got some stuff stored in the barn. So yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Some chickens, rabbits, quails, all that stuff. The neighbors have goats, and they have a buck and females, so they're always breeding. So when the time comes, if I wanted to buy a goat from them, I could. I've got a lot of stuff locally. This is definitely a rural area, farm area. 95% of, I would say, this part of Young County has chickens. You know, um, we're not quite sure. I think there's about total. There's like 6 acres. There used to be a lot more, and Granddad had sold off some of it. I've got a. I think this house sits basically on maybe 3.5 acres. There's an acre that Mom and Dad have, but to be honest, we don't quite know. I mean, there's quite a bit of. There would be plenty of. Oh, yes, yeah, we all think the same there. There's plenty of room for us. We didn't need 100 acres. We wouldn't be able to maintain it. I mean, if I'm just dreaming, I think it would be really cool to get some sheep out in that pasture out there to, be our lawnmowers. But, like I said, this is all. Hey, Shayla, how are you? Man, y'all just coming in and seeing us today. I appreciate it too. Um, so there's a lot of plans. But I was talking about the light switches. It's crazy. Why? Why? I mean, that room, the light switch is across the hall. It's just crazy. And our bedroom, the light switch is on the outside of the wall, not inside the bedroom. And you have to be careful how much you plug into one area at a time, or you'll blow fuses. So yeah, it probably needs a new fuse box. Probably needs to be rewired everywhere, but you know, it's doing fine right now. You have feeder pigs for sale, Jason? That'd be a long way for me to go get a pig. I don't think they'd let me put that on the airport, on an airplane. How old's electric? I have no earthly idea. None. These are some questions I probably, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, Libby. Um, Say it's your service animal. I don't think they let you get away with that anymore. I don't think you can bring anything but dogs as service animals anymore. I don't think they'll let you bring, because they were bringing pigs and chickens and uh, an emotional pet pig. Yeah, that's going to go in my freezer. Oh, we yeah, the we know it's at least probably 50 years old. So, but all that takes time and money. Oh, Shayla, I love you, friend. Thank you. What a sweetheart. Jason. So my live streams, I think probably will go back to the every other week again, and they may be like this. I don't know when I'll get back to doing the live cooking shows. We've just got to get stuff set up and figure out how we're gonna set a new studio up. To be able to do this. But I definitely want to be here visiting with you guys and catching you up. And this is, I'm so excited that y'all are here with us to join us on this adventure, because it's definitely an adventure. And we're so excited, and we're just glad to be here. And as much of a hard time as my husband gives me about chickens, he went out and fed the chickens for me the other day. I was really proud of him. And I didn't even have to, well, One time he just did it on his own, and then one time, huh? I'm saying that you went out and fed the chickens, and I was really proud of you. He's in the next room. I think when we do this next time, he's going to be in here with me so he can hear what I'm saying. Absolutely, Jason. I'm sure I will be calling on you guys. Absolutely. He fed the chickens. Don't let twice. He's done it twice. First time he went out there, Mom was in the out in the barn shelling pecans, and she saw him come out and throw feed out. And then the other day, I had the worst headache. I was afraid I was coming down with the bug because my head was just, and I think really what it was moving different climates, because Southeast Texas is Gulf country and it's very humid, and you move up here and it's really dry. So I think really that's what had caused my bad headache. But I just didn't feel good, and I was laying back on the couch taking a nap, and the rooster was out on the front porch and started crowing. And I'm like, would you please go give that rooster some scratch so he will shut up? Because he was like right at my front door. So he went out there and gave the rooster some scratch. You can yell for. Oh, I need advice. There is a glass top stove in this house. I have never in my life cooked on a glass top stove. All I know is I can't use my cast iron on it. Now, I know that Jess from Reach and Refuge, when they first moved into their trailer, she said she was going to use her cast iron on the glass top stove. She's just going to be real gentle with it. So, um, yeah, now I need him in line. So I'm going to have to learn to do that. It, the first, the Sunday, yeah, Sunday, Monday we unpacked. The weather was great. The Saturday we loaded. The wind was down there was blowing a million miles an hour, and then was it Monday or Tuesday? I guess it's Tuesday, wasn't it, that the bottom fell out, or Monday night? And goodness, it got cold. It got bitter cold here. Um, yeah, just left and said, okay, Lippy. Um, right, Robin, that's me. I am terrified of shattering it. I do have Sherry, Two Family Homestead. I had won her skillet from Layman's, and it's cast iron, but it's got like more of an aluminum um, or bottom on it. It's not as heavy as a full cast iron. So that I've been using, it's done great on it. Yes, even poor Kendra. It was cold down there, and she was like, "Hey, Allie, how are you, sweetie? Great to see you." Um, Kendra would mark on me, and she's like, "It's cold, Mom." And I mean, down there, we didn't own coats. We when it got cold, we'd put hoodies on, and that's all you really ever needed. Other than last February, when we thought the winter apocalypse was happening, and all the pipes were busting and all that stuff. But usually we would have 2 or 3 days, which where Kendra's at is just slightly north of where we lived, and it's different. The weather is different in Huntsville than it is in Conroe. We have no idea why, but Conroe's close enough, 30 miles closer to the Gulf. and it was warmer there than it was up in uh, up in Huntsville. But Kendra, um, correct me if I'm wrong. You're taking philosophy, psychology, and those are the two. Can you remember the other classes Kendra's taken? Oh, biology was the other one. What am I forgetting, Kendra? This semester. Anyway, she's doing a full class load. Yeah, I love hoodies too. Um, we I've got one. Kendra's got one of my hoodies. And she had taken my Mama Z's hoodie, and let's see. Oh, the Intro to Criminal Justice. You're right, Kendra. So she's going to be a criminal justice major. So she's going to go into like in your minor going to be forensics, Kendra. So she wants to do like CSI type stuff. Oh, these things are awesome, aren't they? Man, we've got one here and one in our bedroom. There's one in the living room. They work amazing. This is true. I crocheted him a hat, and he said, "There's too many holes in it." Then he got me one of those round knitting deals, and I can knit hats, and they tend to be a little thicker. So I've just got to get all my stuff out. One of these days I will. Yeah, she's going to minor in forensics or psychology. That's right. Yeah, these are really good. Mom and Dad had put these in, and I love them because the house does not have central heat and air. They have window units and then these heaters. Eventually, I think it would be a good idea to put like mini splits in here, but we're probably going to have to redo the wiring before we put the mini splits in. So I don't I don't know that yet, but we'll see. Because I think if we could put some of the mini splits like in the bedrooms and then like one in here in the dining room, it's electric. There is a propane tank out. This house used to have propane. Then they had turned it off, I think, because of when my grandfather, he died when he's 93, but they were all kind of getting where they were afraid that they would hurt themselves on the gas. So I don't know what we'd have to do to maybe hook it back up to the propane, but I would love to see. It also used to have a wood burning stove in here over in the corner right there. I would love to have a wood burning stove, but this is all just kind of um, dreaming until we can do stuff. So yeah, Kendra, it was 19 degrees and feel like of 12 this morning when we got up. So she's I say that to her all the time. She's like, "Yeah, but you're not having to walk around in it, Mom." Well, anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's just going to take time to try to figure out what we're going to do. Yeah, exactly. One thing at a time. Uh, my most important, I'm going to have to get like some deer netting or something. There are deer everywhere out here. There there's two little deers that live over in the fort that my huh oh right, exactly, Jason. Exactly. And that's exactly right. That's what mom was, concerned because she hadn't got everything out of here. And I'm like, we have nothing but time. It's not like somebody that's not your daughter has moved into this house. We have nothing but time to figure out what we need to do, where we need to do it, and all that stuff. So I agree, Jason. It just slowly but surely. Like I said, the most important thing is this year would be garden, is to get the garden going. And if chickens happen, that's great. If not, I'll keep feeding the neighbors' chickens because I just enjoy it. Exactly. Just breathe. Um, yeah. Um, we like I was saying about the deer, we're gonna have to get some kind of fencing or deer netting or something to put around the garden, or they'll just decimate my garden. Yeah. Oh no, because mom and dad's made pets out of them. I'll make a joke every once in a while about, hey, Rebel Canners, welcome. I'll make a joke about, they'd make some good deer jerky. Um, but eventually that's something I would like to do too. Is be able to get my hunting license and go deer hunting and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Jason is probably getting some electric fencing. Oh, okay. And they'll pop them anytime they touch it. Yeah, I'll have to do something because they'll decimate a garden pretty quick. And the other thing is to protect it from the chickens. Oh shoot! I bet it would only take once, huh? Um, because all the chickens around here free range. So, if I wanted to grow, pumpkins or watermelons or tomatoes or anything like that, the chickens would get into it. So I'm going to have to put fencing up. Little Fish in the Kitchen, thank you so much for stopping in. We're not going to be live that much longer. So, um, right, you know, and that's it. I don't have to have all the things, just the things that, we think we can handle and, to become a little bit sustainable. I'd like to raise my own chicks. I've got so many ideas and dreams and, all the stuff that I've just got to pace myself because eventually I'd love to be able to sell plant starts and sell chickens and do all those things. But it's going to take time and it's going to take some time to get some infrastructure set up to be able to handle all that. So what did Robin say? I missed it. Hold on. Let me go back up. Da, da, da. Yeah, I can't find it now. What did you say, Robin? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Jason. I 100% agree with that. And that's what we're going to do. The most important thing right now is try to get my house in order. Because when the time comes, and Mama passes, we're going to have family come. And I don't want to still be living out of boxes. At least get the living room and the kitchen and the dining room in order. Nobody has to go into my bedroom. So, and it's just one step at a time. It really, really is. So we we're probably gonna run to the store to go over to ground today and get some groceries and that kind of stuff. Just few little things. We'll see. And then just try to go through stuff. And I, I tell you what, one of my big goals is to get back on my diet. And, we were eating so much crap, literally, that just the last month or so, doing all the packing and that kind of stuff, the one benefit for me is there's not a fast food restaurant 2 minutes away from my house. You have to drive 12, at least 12 miles to get to McDonald's or wherever. Because we had just gotten kind of lazy. And it wasn't laziness, it was just, we just didn't have time to sit and eat um, a lot of home cooked meals. And then I packed all the pots and pans up, and we didn't have anything to cook out of. So we were eating Hot Pockets and just crap food. And I can tell I was swollen. My legs were huge. They had swollen up so much. And now that we're here, I can start focusing on eating good, healthy food again. I want to eat a lot out of our garden this year. I want to can a lot. Just do the stuff that before, when I had a full time job. Well, it wasn't a full time job. It felt like a full time job that I got paid, uh, for once a week. But I have time now to do all that stuff. Yeah, Hot Pockets are. Hey, Shayla, that's awesome. I That's what I'm looking for too. Is just to eat healthier. It's not so much a diet as it's just get my diet back under control. And I got stuff to make smoothies and that kind of stuff. I'm just, we just got away from it. The video which over Christmas, y'all know, I was making a ton of candy videos. You know, so a lot of that's going to change. But like the video that's coming out Monday, I'm making a roast that the last Friday we were in Conroe. A friend of mine, well, that I worked with, a good friend, she invited me over, and her neighbor, who also went to our church, was a chef in New Orleans. That guy can cook. Oh my goodness, he can cook. Well, he made a garlic stuffed roast to die for. So that's what the video Monday's going to be coming out. So y'all watch for that video. I'm going to try to get the I absolutely, Jason, absolutely. Um, and then I'll be working on the move video. I've got a lot of footage. I've just got to uh, put it together. So I I love garlic. Garlic is one of our favorite flavorings. If you watched any of my videos, you know that I like to squeeze garlic some too, and I would squeeze. Say, oh, it's about a teaspoon, and I would probably put 3 tablespoons in it. We love garlic. I just one of my favorite, and it's very very good for you. You know, it's one of the health. That's the other thing that I'm going to really be focusing in on is medicinal herbs and making tinctures and salves, and that's going to be a huge goal of mine is to get that stuff and doing natural remedies and stuff. Yeah, honey, would you kick that bot out, please? Or one of my mods still in here? I can't tell on the StreamYard who's mods and who's not. Okay, thank you. Um, oh wow, yeah, you got to have the garlic. I've got powdered garlic, but this is calls for whole garlic, and it kind of roasts in that roast. Oh, it's so good. I can't wait to show y'all how to make that. And also, he's supposed to be sending me a recipe. I'm gonna have to get with Sherry, and he made a shrimp corn roasted corn soup. Guys, that stuff was to die for. I don't know how he did it. I know he roasted the corn, and he made a roux for it, and they were the little cocktail shrimp. Oh my goodness! Yeah, got your taste back. I I think mom. She said she didn't. When mom and dad had it too. They just, what, 3 weeks ago maybe. Anyway, she said that she didn't even notice she couldn't smell and taste until she had tasted something. She's like, that has no flavor to it. So I figure we'll all have it probably multiple times before this thing is done. And it may never be done. It'll be like the flu and come back every year. So he'll just stick with us. I hope not. I know a lot of people have been sick. Um, I'm certainly Mr. Keith. Somebody help me. I can't remember his Winslet. Is that his last name? Um, Teresa and Lippy both were talking about it on their live. He's in really bad shape. He's in. They've got him in ICU. So, and he's had heart trouble and different kind of stuff. Sweetheart of a man. If y'all would lift him up in prayer, because I just hate this stuff, man. I'm ready for it to be over with. Really, I didn't realize you'd had it twice, Shayla. Goodness, girl. Yeah, Keith Winslet. So please keep them in your prayers. Um, Also, now that I have more time, my channel members, y'all will start getting my newsletter again. I'm really excited because I just have more time now to kind of focus on my channel and do stuff that before I just didn't have time to do. So, or the motivation. Now I have the motivation to do it. So, yeah, I know. And it's the weirdest thing. You know, some people get it, they're sick as all get out, but then they're fine, right? They feel horrible. There's some that don't have any symptoms whatsoever. They might have a little runny nose. And then there's the ones that it just kind of kicks their butt. That's what the doctor told mom, that people her age that got COVID usually didn't survive it. So it's just weird. And I don't know. I agree with what Lippy was saying last night about it, though. I don't think it was an accident at all. So, uh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I think when Mama goes, it's just going to be an immediate family. I don't think we're going to have a big gathering. Just a just a small. So, but anyway, I think we're going to probably end it here. I've talked your ear off enough today. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for believing in us and still supporting us, even though we weren't putting videos out. We're going to get back on a semi-regular schedule and get things back going. I have a lot of hopes and dreams for the YouTube channel. I will be moving into almost more of a homesteading channel. We'll still be doing recipes and cooking and all that, but you're going to be seeing the life on the farm too. So, oh, hey, Crystal. It's okay. I know you are, Jason. I thank y'all all so incredibly much. Y'all don't know how much your support means to me. And definitely I will, you too, sweetheart. Um, let's just pray for each other. Pray for this stupid thing to be gone and done, and nothing else comes out. That's my big fear, is that they're going to release something else. So it's so great to see y'all in here today. Be watching for the videos. They will be coming out. I want to get my house a little bit order before I do a house tour video, because as you can see, there's still plenty of stuff. So God bless you. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Let me get my the banner up over here. And then we'll see y'all. I may come live Saturday, next Saturday. We'll just see where we're at, but I will post it on all the medias, and you'll know ahead of time. So, love you guys. Until the next one.